In this video, I'll be showing you how to find a percent of a number. To find a percent of a number, we want to take a number times by either the fraction of a percent or the decimal of a percent. We want to first introduce how you would convert a percent to a fraction or a percent to a decimal. Example, 25% is equivalent to fraction of 25 over 100. Because 25% is 25 out of 100, therefore it's written as 25 over 100. Now, to convert 25% to decimal point of 1.00 is 100%. So a 25% would be 0.25. Therefore, 25% can be rewritten as 25 over 100 or 0.25. Now here comes the example. Earlier we talked about 25%, so we're going to do 25% of 20. So in this example, we're going to go ahead and times by fraction and then times by decimal. First, we'll go by the fraction method. So we previously talked about 25% equal to 25 over 100 and then times by 20. Whenever you see the word of in a math question, it means that you are multiplying. Therefore, 25% is 25 over 100. Of is times 20. So we can rewrite this as 25 over 100 times by 20 over 1. And whether you want to just times it directly or use a calculator to calculate this, you could get 500 over 100, and that equals to 5. Now, what if you want to simplify before you multiply? You can do that as well. So we could look at it like this. The 25 and the 100, if you were to simplify that, it becomes 1/4 times 20. Then you rewrite it as 1/4 times 20 over 1. And that equals to 20 over 4, which also equals 5. So whichever way you do it, you will get the same answer. Now, what if you want to do this by decimal point? 25% equals 0.25 times 20 equals. With a calculator, if you input 0.25 times 20, the answer you get will also be 5. So from here, you can see that whichever way you do it, fraction or decimal times by the number, the answer will always be the same. So if you want to check your answer by using different methods, that's a good way to verify that your answer is correct. Now let's try another question. 35% of 40. How do you write 35% in fraction format? 35% is 35 over 100. Because the percent sign means that it's out of 100. So therefore, 35% is 35 over 100. So we'll rewrite the equation like this: 35 over 100. And the of is times, so we're going to times it by 40. And we can rewrite it: 35 over 100 times by 40 over 1. And then you will get 1400 over 100, which equals 14. Now, what if we want to do it the simplified version? So 35 over 100, we can divide by 5, and so that could become 7 over 20. Because we are dividing the numerator by 5 and the denominator by 5, which is how we got 7 over 20. Okay, so now we times this by 40, and we can rewrite it as 7 over 20 times by 40 over 1. And if we want to further simplify this, the 40 and 20, we would get 4 and 2. Then we simply take 7 times 4 is 28, and 2 times 1 equals 2, and that equals 14. So this method also works. Now what about the decimal point? Now what about the decimal method? With the decimal method, the 35 over 100 will be equivalent to 0.35. So we can rewrite this as 0.35 times 40. And using a calculator, we will get 14.00, which is 14. What about this one? 15% of 200. 15% again is 15 over 100 because it's 15%. And so we can write the question as 15 over 100 times 200. So that equals 15 100 times by 200 over 1. And here we can simplify here. This becomes 2 and this becomes 1. So 15 times 2 is 30, and 1 times 1 is 1. So the answer here is 30. Now we can also further simplify this by dividing the numerator and the denominator by 5 before we start, and then that will equal to 3 over 20. And times that by 200. 3 over 20 times 200 over 1. Now here we can further simplify 1 and 10. And this will become 30 over 1, and result is also 30. So that checks out. Now let's change the fraction to decimal. So in this case, 15 over 100 equals 0.15. So 0.15 times 200 equals, and with the calculator, 30.00, which equals 30. So in all three methods, the answer comes out to be 30. So these three examples are how you would find percent of a number Thank you for watching.